Clark and Spencer show me around the farm.
The first one we started on was the Cadillac, and that's Spencer's for Wasika. And that was something that he chose to drive that one of his friends told him about. It's kind of a rusty one, but it's still known to be strong, the Cadillac. It's one of them, it'll be the early for the 80s car. Very strong frame in the front of one of these. This one here was, it's probably going to be Natalie's because up in Jordan they tend to hit her in the back end all the time, and I wanted her to have some protection there this year. If I don't drive it, then Natalie will be driving that one in Jordan.
Who's the captain?
The captain is Clark.
Captain Clark.
This one is maybe Natalie's or Spencer's. We haven't decided yet. Natalie prefers this kind of a car because she did very well with one. She actually was one of the first people to win the 80s, or with the 80s car in the old iron. They did change the bumper rules this year for you can put any bumper on, but otherwise you always had an 80s car is very hard to find a good steel bumper. And they did open up the rules to that a little bit this year where you can put any bumper on now, so we prefer the old Chevy ones. This one here Spencer just bought. We might end up stripping that down. That's a Lincoln Town car, just they call them a square. We were just going to try running one of these, and we just ended up, they're unbelievably strong. You know, with the stuff that you can do with the rules just the way they are now, boy, you can really build a nice rig with one of these. This was going to be Spencer's Mantle Mayhem car, but we quit on that. He's got a very nice rebuilt motor in that one. Alabama rust-free, was a rust-free car. It's been sitting around here for quite a few years. I just never built it. Complete rebuilt motor there. We were going to go to Mayhem and just never did. Still might. This one here is a Chrysler Cordoba, and they used to compete with the old iron for everything, so now you run them in with the 80s stuff, you know, you can about imagine what happens. We got motors sitting for spare. If we need one tomorrow, we can pull it right there, you know. That was my driving car for a while, but the gas line started leaking and I never fixed it, so I just, they're all, Spencer wanted to drive it and wreck it. That was one of his first cars that he wanted to wreck. Another Chrysler Crown Vic. This is a 73 Chev, we're old style. If I don't, I think Natalie will be driving it in Jordan more than likely. Another nice Chrysler, you know, that's pretty much a rust-free one. This one wasn't drivable. That one only had 80,000 miles on it. It was actually restorable. Two-door like that. The parts are pretty valuable. It's just right at that point of where you fix it, it's got rust coming to it. This one here, we bought in the cities. Pimple deal, kind of. Trying some different stuff, you know, to see how they, front ends of these are supposedly pretty tough. The bumper pile's getting pretty thin. You're building 6 cars, you know, you don't have much left here. And the steel pile too, you know, that disappears. This car here is that was actually an Arizona car. Boy, we drove the heck out of that thing. It was a 73 Buick Electra, and it still has some hit left in it. It's one of them you just don't want to throw it away yet. Actually, this is the one Paul Nielsen wanted to buy from me right here. He asked me he wants to come and look at it. You can take a good picture of it and tell him and show it to him. This one's from the neighbor. This one is from St. Paul Sheriff's Auction. That one's from the taxi cab place that when I bought this one, that guy was buying several cars. He says, well, we can only drive them for 200,000 miles and we have to junk them. So he called me and says, I got one ready to go for $100.
So how are taxi cars built differently?
Well, taxi cabs and cop cars are the P71 package. They have to have a 70-mile-an-hour impact for front-end collisions. So they put extra gussets and bracing on the frame. They put just extra layers of steel on them to make it survive that hit. You know, that was a 55-mile-an-hour hit, but now they make them for 70.
Any idea what a standard car would have for that hit speed?
I think 50 or 55 is standard. But the cop cars used to be 55, and then they upped that to 70. These holes are made to like there, that's a crush zone where they're meant to bend there. So if you know how to build a car, you'll get them holes out of there, you know, somehow. You put your pins there, or you plug them if they let you.
These are called the crush boxes. That's what old cars didn't have them. People try to get away from them because they're a point of where the frame crushes.
And then the problem with these too is this is right below the air conditioner where it used to drip and all the rust would sit in the frame. Now this is the different water extruded frame. There's no seams in it. They do have a crush buckle zone here, but down here this is really mild bend, you know. The only thing bad is the aluminum cradles in these that you have to switch out, put steel cradles back in them. The difference is the no A-frame, and they have to go, the springs have to go on the outside of the frame.
The reason we don't run the aluminum is it's just not as durable. Metal's a lot more easy to work with. You can weld it. Aluminum can be welded, but it's just not. You have to have a special setup for your welder. And that's our dumpster. The other one.
I've taken cars in and I've gotten $600 and $700 for just crushing them. So full of, like that red one that you saw with the hood open up there, or the roof cut off. We stuffed the heck out of them. We put everything under the sun underneath that hood and smash it in there. They come in there and they're 5,000–6,000 pounds, and they look at them like, but you know, you get $700 for them, you know. That was Natalie's pounder for a Faribault last year. They're just a little too rusty to refix. That was one of them quick builds too. We threw it together in a couple days.
Someone driving that this year?
Yeah, I am. We figured it doesn't do us any good to have a bunch of them a little bit down where you get a couple all the way down.
You could wreck a car early and then switch cars, I suppose.
Yeah.
While you're fixing another one. What in the world is this?
That's our fun for the summer. We pull that behind the four-wheeler or the Rhino, and that was my friend's idea. You got your shoes put on them. All the cars on them.
Emma gets hurt all the time.
Pull it out in the field, or where do you pull it to?
We have a pasture and a field and all kinds of fun places. This 17-acre farm, so.
Yeah, his tools are way back there. We don't use them as often, but it's funny how mine always get used.
That's how they can stay new.
The ones that get lost are mine.
And that's where all
Oh wow.
the junk stays, so not junk but parts.
Yeah, I had two Imperials in there one time. I had one in here and one this way, and I built them both one winter. So yeah, this is kind of the bullshit area right here.
Got the bus seat and couple of recliners.
Couple beer drinking chairs.
Yeah, we better have a beer. Them are only the ones that fit up there, the littler ones. Nice tall ones you get. We put Christmas lights on them the one year. You know, some of them have Steves, and actually Wasikas are really nice trophies too. We put Christmas tree lights around them and just left them by the door, you know, people were like, what the heck?
I want to thank you guys for having me out here today.
Thank you for
Thanks.
coming.
Till next time, stay away from the bank.
Oh, he's taking. Okay. I'm like, oh, he's taking a piss.